All right, everyone. Welcome to the first Eclipse Megamovie volunteer meeting of 2026. Woo! It's been a little bit of a holiday break, winter break, but we're back. We have some exciting news. So we have an agenda of data that we want to share and things like that. And you probably saw my emails about EclipseCon that we're hosting in Sonoma, that we really hope that all of y'all can participate, whether virtually or attending in person. And we already have a few signups. Yay. Excited about that. So I will let the agenda begin. And yes, I am recording, just a reminder, and the chat will be captured for future usage. Posterity? I don't know what the right word is. So Laura, if you could give us the science and website refresh with data update.
Yes. So many of you saw the emails that Hannah sent out about our data being posted to the website. So we kind of released those in different phases. And what was wonderful about that is that many of you took a look and made sure that your data looked as it was expecting to look. Some of you found extra data in there. Some of you said, wait a minute, why don't I have FITS files? Because my data was really great. So there was so much data that we missed a couple good observatories. So our team went back in and reanalyzed that data. And so now we have 15 observatories that Juan Carlos Martinez Oliveras is using to analyze. And we had a team meeting last week and got to see some of his analysis. So that he'll be showing some science results, his science results at the Eclipse Con. And he's working on a science paper. So that's very exciting. Yay. One thing we were talking about is how if we weren't doing this through a citizen science methodology, then we would have paid, maybe 7 scientists to go to the path of totality. And then most likely what would have happened is only 2 of those scientists would have had data because it was cloudy where we didn't think it was going to be cloudy, and it was clear where we thought it was going to be cloudy. So one of the beautiful things about having all of you in, attempting to get to the path or getting to the path or giving us data afterwards is that we had enough coverage. And then, and some of you had mistake like things, there were mishaps. Some of our team had mishaps. And first, many people, it was the first time ever trying to take a eclipse photograph, and then there were common errors such as forgetting to remove the cap and other such thing, and the mounts breaking. And so what I'm trying to say is that we had a really nice data set so that we could actually get a very large, like to have 15 observatories at high quality data has never happened before, of this kind of data. So we did it. Yay! And so I'm excited about Juan's analysis of all that. So that's the update. So I think we found an additional, I don't know, like 7 good observatories after you all looked at your data. So thank you for double checking us. It's been quite a data analysis. Cleaning data is something. Um, Also, if you're trying to look at your data right now, it is not currently attached to our website. You might be noticing that right now. Don't panic. We have it. It's safe on a hard drive. It's just we had to move to a new server, as we have to do from time to time because, the hackers are out there. They're always trying to get in. And so we're in a new server, a nice, safe new server. But Troy hasn't gone into the physical location and move the hard drive over to the new server yet. So that will happen tomorrow. So your data will be back up online tomorrow. Um, so don't worry. It's safe. We have backups. Um, Now we have like 3 different ways to back things up too. So this is all very good. So that's just the quick update I wanted to give you all on that front. Any questions, comments? Okay. All right. So next, I'm going to have Hannah do update on papers, and you can start with your own paper, Hannah.
Hello. Um, so we have three papers in the works currently. Laura has told you about one of them, which is the science paper that Juan Carlos is working on. I am writing a methods paper specifically when it comes to participatory methods, which means ultimately how did volunteers do work in Eclipse Megamovie for our project? How did we facilitate the work that you all did? What do you all think of the work that you did and that we asked you to do, and things like that? So, to that end, do you have something, Laura? Oh, sorry. To that end, if you have anything that you would like the world to know about participating in this project as a volunteer, who responded to a call for support for help for volunteer hours for photographs, let me know. I'm happy to receive emails with text. I'm happy to meet with you over Zoom and hear you out and see if there's anything you want to include in this. But the paper will ultimately be probably kind of drab for anybody who's not in participatory sciences. It will very much be we recruited through these websites. We engaged them in volunteer meetings. Here's a synopsis of each volunteer meeting, real quick. And then here's a fun little quote from a volunteer that says they had so much fun and what they really liked about it. So that's kind of why I'm like fishing for quotes here, is because I really want to break up the drabness of a methods paper. So that's a methods paper. It's really just a we did this and then we did this and then we did this and then we did this and it worked. And then this didn't work as well, but here's what we learned from it kind of deal. The third paper is the data paper, which is basically under Laura's wing. And the data paper is going to talk all about how you all gathered the data, how we facilitated the collection of the data, what we're doing with the data, and how scientists and professionals in the world can access it. Because we've been saying from the beginning, the end goal is to do science with this data. We're NASA funded, which means that this data is available for all to use, regardless of who you are, who you work for, or what work you're doing. So we're now approaching those final steps of getting the data into the database, but now we're going to tell the world about it via this data paper that Laura's working on, and that I'm helping Laura work on. Questions about papers? Questions about what I asked for? Questions in general? Okie dokie.
So if we contribute it, our name might be one of the authors of the paper, or
That's
I know there's
something,
a Mega Movie website already listed the name, so
yeah.
that's only the place to list it, the name, or just
Yeah,
one.
that's definitely something Laura and I are talking about, is how to get volunteer names into one of these papers. We weren't sure if it was going to be the methods paper or the data paper because you all contributed the data, so the data would be a good one to contribute on. But if you wanted to contribute something to the paper, Laura and I would talk about it first just to make sure, but I don't see why not, honestly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is I think just to add to what Hannah's saying, I this whole idea, the idea behind the mega movie, Eclipse mega movie, is that it's the people's project who
Yeah.
participated in it. And so to that end, we would love, for you all, for those who want to be part of a paper, to contribute to it, to let us know, and then we can have you help us edit it. You can, and then you will become a
Yep.
co-author. So yes, to what Hannah's saying. And I do agree. It's probably her paper and the data paper are the two papers that make the most sense for you all to be editing and contributing to. And then Juan's science paper will reference our papers, and so then you would be referenced as co-authors. Um, yeah, Spencer.
Do you need any clown stuff?
Cloud
And
stuff.
yeah, and what I mean about that is, you see this thing? It's got LEDs on the
Yeah.
inside of a can, and I have a drone, and I fly it up to the street light and drop it over the sensor,
Oh,
and 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 the light doesn't come on when the solar eclipse is total.
Oh, that's cool.
Clown stuff.
Well, okay, so
That
there's
would that would also be good for reducing light pollution when you're attempting to do astrophotography at night.
that's right.
Yes.
That is, I think the word is ingenious.
Yes.
Well,
The opposite of clown. Well, clowns are ingenious as well, also ingenious.
It's
I
play, to be sure.
Right.
I
Play.
attempted I attempted to get on the presentation list at the uh, uh, San Antonio conference, and they looked at me like I was, are you sure that's legal?
Okay. Well, so this is another thing when we get to our so there will also be a kind of a proceedings. I'm not sure what we're going to call it, but a synthesis paper or two from the meeting we're going to have, EclipseCon meeting. And part of that is to bring together any new ideas that people have, such as yours, Spencer's, for eclipse photography or astrophotography, or and so we've called, the American Astronomical Society, Eclipse Solar Eclipse Task Force did an amazing job collecting tons of different really robust resources for use during eclipses. But there are new things like what you just showed us. And so part of what I want to do as part of this conference and also just kind of wrapping up our work with NASA is to gather these ideas and put them either in papers or on the web on our website, or to give you a chance to do a share-a-thon about that, Spencer. So like those are the ways that we could share that out, or you could share that out. We could create a space for you. Yeah.
I was going to say back in the day when we were planning for the 2017 eclipse, we did have all these town halls around the path of totality from coast to coast. And that was one of the things we talked about is what do we do with street lamps that automatically turn on because the light gets dim. And so I love the ingenious DIY solution. I think it's fantastic. I mean, and legality, I don't know. I can't speak to whether or not you're not tampering with it.
It's
You're
not
just,
like you're permanently altering
no.
it.
No, you're just
Yeah.
um giving it different sensory inputs for a momentary time.
At our hotel when we were in Irmo, South Carolina, 2017, I asked the manager of the hotel where uh, the street light photo cell was, and I dropped one of those on that. And so the whole parking lot was perfect.
Yeah.
But the restaurant next door, they had all their parking lot lights on.
Yeah.
So it works.
Nice. Okay, great. All right. So
That's actually a really perfect segue into the Eclipse Con.
yeah, Dar, do you want to start and then I'll give like my overview?
Sure. So we are very excited. As you know, in NASA, it's very hard to officially do a conference. There's a lot of kind of rules and regulations about it. And so while we are casually calling it EclipseCon, it is officially the Eclipse Megamovie team meeting plus friends. And so this is why you are all cordially invited to an official NASA team meeting, because it is a way that we can invite our colleagues and not run into the conference kind of regulations.
Mhm.
But just between you and me, we're calling it EclipseCon because it's cuter and fun. So, anyways, it's a very short little opportunity to gather. It is going to be officially all day Monday, March 23rd, and half of the day of Tuesday, March 24th. That's our official time. But we are offering a variety of different options. So first thing I should say is that we have a in-person option and a virtual option. So we will allow virtual attendees for anything that we can, zoom in. But of course, we would love to see you in person. Sonoma County is beautiful, and we have a hotel room block reservation at the DoubleTree, and that is where we have some fun things planned as well. So this is where, if you are able to join us in person, the hotel room block, we just got extended to March 9th, so you actually have a little bit more time to decide that. But please register, whether virtually or in person, as soon as you can, as soon as you decide to commit. So the room block at the hotel starts on the Friday night because we are offering a little field trip to the Exploratorium, which is an
Mhm.
amazing science museum in San Francisco. If you've never been, they are like the leader of hands-on, just ingenious, intuitive kind of ways of just exploring science. And it's great fun. And of course, you're like dead in the center of city, so you can go and do all sorts of San Francisco touristy stuff if you want to. And we have a special opportunity where our colleagues are opening it up for us. Someone remind me the exact time. I don't remember the exact time of that one.
Yeah, I'll be pulling up the website. So
Fantastic. Yes. So that is our special insider field trip that is on the weekend before EclipseCon. We are also working to have a little wine reception. Of course, we're in Sonoma County. We're in wine country on the Sunday evening before we officially start. Again, this is, outside of the official team meeting hours. So that's another reason why we started the hotel room block early, so people have a chance to come and just explore the Bay Area and do some stuff with us, but also feel free to go do things on your own. And then we have a full day planned for Monday, which Laura will talk about, but I want to plug that Monday evening, we have our colleagues at the Robert Ferguson Observatory opening up their telescopes for us, especially. So that's our second big field trip that is just for us. We would be able to go after dinner and have some nighttime observing, and it's really special. Yeah, I haven't actually physically been there myself, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Um, Excited, excited. Although we have to say, anytime we plan any telescopy things, right, we have to say we're not actually trying to look at the sky or the weather will not cooperate. So we have
Yes.
to just pretend we're gathering for no reason.
Yeah.
Just at the ARFO. Anyway, so that is at the ARFO. We call it the Robert Ferguson Observatory for short, the ARFO Monday night. And then we will conclude with half an hour more, half a day's more of presentations on Tuesday. And then we also have an external, but at Sonoma State, physics symposium Tuesday afternoon by one of our colleagues, our NASA colleagues. So that is another additional thing that you can do. So many reasons to join us for EclipseCon. Um, okay. Okay. Oh, I see some stuff in the chat. Yes. Yay, thank you. Yes, so we have a website. Please check out in the chat. It says visit LBIM because that is one of our grants that we work on, and so it's a nice little way to nest our visiting information. And we say Sunday at 1:30 is the Exploratorium field trip. Yes, it is about an hour drive away from San Francisco, traditionally. I regularly make the drive from Berkeley, and it's usually an hour, every so often an hour and a half, only if something very bad happens, like two accidents on the same freeway. Um, okay. All
I know.
right, so
So that's why I was saying, yeah, maybe we might want to move the welcome to 5:30.
we're still ironing out the details, but
Just to
yes.
give people a little more time.
Yes, but rooms are reserved. The ballroom at Sonoma State is reserved. It is blocked off on our calendars, and so we really hope you join us. So, Laura, if you want to go into the details of the Monday, Tuesday team meeting part of it, I talked about
Yeah.
all the extras. Go
Yeah, so
on.
I'm gonna actually pull up a document so people can read while I'm talking. So let me see. Did that work? I mean, it will work. It's
You are sharing? Perfect.
okay, great. So here's the our little meeting
Mhm.
website that we made. Troy made. Troy, who you have heard from before.
Right.
Yes. So
Your IT and other stuff expert. Yes.
Exactly. Our software programmer
Yeah.
who has been working on a lot of the data analysis or data kind of cleaning and analysis and also machine learning. So he's been working with our professor here in machine learning. But he's also an amazing website developer. In fact, I should show you, like, yeah, I could show you all his great websites, but this is like not like this was like the quickest website ever. If you want to see some of his amazing websites, you go to some of our other sites. You go to
Not
edion.sonoma.edu.
edu? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you'll see all our websites. And he also trains he came from SSU as an undergrad and now he
Mm.
trains undergrads in website development and design within our team. So we have basically an entire web design team between Troy and our students, which is so lovely. Um, so here you can, so if you go to program, then this is what Dara was talking about, and the 1:30 is the exploratorium meeting, and then we talked about maybe moving our gathering to 5:30 so people could have a little more time in San Francisco. So that will get updated if we decide that's a good idea, which probably is. Um, this is if you go to the program, if you download the program, then you will see a kind of what we're thinking. So let me
Hmm.
make this bigger. How do I do that here? Fit. So
Nice.
yeah, I guess you see that better.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Even those of us with big monitors appreciate
The zooming
we
in.
haven't had our eyes surgically altered yet, and so we appreciate a little bit of help.
Okay, good. You're very welcome. I know there's a lot of words. But in essence, so I'll just kind of summarize the words. But so this first, we're gonna, bring you together, and we will, in essence, start by talking about the research.
Hmm.
And that so Juan will essentially give it what I would like him to do is give a 10-minute talk, just like he
Hmm.
were at the American Geophysical Union
Right.
conference, which is
Right.
where we give our talks. And then I want to translate what he said. So this is what I'm imagining, and then we'll just basically we'll have a question and answer, um, and we'll kind of dive into these ideas around what scientific outcomes, data sets, and methodological advances were produced through this project. How do they contribute to the understanding of the solar corona? How can we continue these approaches into future efforts? What kind of practices could be kept? What might be modified? Like what really actually helped the research to be done? I am trying to pull in some of my colleagues who did other citizen science efforts with the total solar eclipse, but they did it using different methodologies. They used, for example, the other two I'm thinking of, the Deb Initiative and Sun Slicer. Sun Sketcher. Sun Sketcher did a citizen was part of Eclipse Megamovie in 2017, and then they branched apart. So they used cell phones to really capture the diamond beads, to
Hmm.
measure the size of the sun. And their paper just got published recently. And then we have the Deb initiative, and they did something very similar to what we did, where they had cameras, but they used telescopes. And the same type of telescopes across the path of totality. So they zoomed in more than we did in terms of inside the corona. It was a smaller field of view, but they also were looking at white light. And then, like Citizen Kate, had teams of undergrads and high school students basically working across the path of totality. And they had specialized telescopes that had filters on top of them to get polarized data. And so I'm trying to see if we can bring in either virtually or in person to have them come and talk about some of what they learned in their research programs, because they also have been publishing science results just recently. So you could see how long it takes to get to science from data collection. And that's very common in space physics. Like it takes usually 10 years of planning, of building all the instruments, of getting the instruments out, of gathering the data, analyzing the data. So you're part of a real process that happens in space physics. Okay, so then the other kind of conversation that some people would like to have who are coming, and we have experts to kind of facilitate these conversations, is around machine learning and data analysis techniques. So we tested out a couple different machine learning techniques, but not yet with the HDR images. So we can talk about maybe what might that look like in the future. But there just aren't enough HDR images to use machine learning. So it doesn't even really make sense. So just this idea about, just so for people who really want to dive into what is AI and machine learning in the context of research and solar research, there are certain things you just can't do and don't make sense, and there are things that do make sense. So we can kind of delve into that conversation. My guess is that these might bifurcate into two different conversations depending. I mean, we have 3 hours, so I think we'll probably kind of get both of these started and have everyone participate in some of it, and then we'll probably break apart so that we can go deeper and learn more from one another, because I know you all are bringing your expertise from your own careers, your own experience. So this conference is really meant to bring experts together and build on our expertise, and learn from each other. Then we have the share-a-thon, speaking of learning from each other, from 12 to 2. I know that we already have 2 of you signed up to be in here. So I put you in here, see the Saxons. So we'll be adding these, we'll be adding to this as we get more registrations. So I'm very excited about what people are going to be sharing here. I think also Vivian White from the ASP will be sharing some things from her work. And then in the afternoon, we have 2, they'll either be breakout sessions or one after the other. Kind of depends on how many people we have and what you all want to be doing. So one is kind of photography for solar corona research. A lot of you come with that expertise as photographers. You contributed, so we'll kind of talk about, some of us will start the conversation and talk about the the oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the word, our what we told, the brackets we told you to take, and then what was actually possible based on your camera.
Exposures or gold
Right,
standard?
right.
Yeah, the gold standard, yeah, the guide, the
Yeah.
photography guide we made. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And where we built on all of your expertise and built that all out. I recently, many of you met Raphael and
Yes.
Ati from the Goddard Space
Yes.
Flight Center, and I think you might have heard him asking, why are you doing these certain, why are you doing it that way? Why not do it
Right.
this way? And he just said to me 2 months ago, he said, I finally understood why you were doing it that way. Because he didn't realize there was such a diversity in cameras that we
Yep.
had.
Yep.
And so he thought everyone was coming with more similar cameras than they were in actuality. And so, he came with his expertise, but this really has been an amazing, all of you were experts or not about your own cameras. Some of you were learning about your cameras too. So, but some of you are experts in coding. I mean, it's
Right.
just been such a fun team. Anyways, so those of you who want to really delve into the photography and how to just really refine that for solar corona for future eclipses, that will be that piece. And then a lot of you also did a lot of education and outreach, and you do a lot of education outreach. Some of you are solar system ambassadors, and you know how to do great education efforts. So we'll have that as a section that we'll discuss. And then Dar talked already about the astrophotography and amateur astronomy night. And then on Tuesday is all about the future of, and how can we take all the discussions we had in day one, summarize it into plans, like that might even relate to some concrete plans. Some of you already have plans to go to the next international eclipse, future eclipses. I know our colleagues at ASP are planning that. So how can we build on this activity to continue it forward? And then we have a new thing that just came. We may have another talk at 2:30 from another solar physicist from Goddard Space Flight Center at 2:30. So you'd be welcome to stay for that. Or of course you may leave. So you see this date, this will change and will be updated the agenda as we get more kind of information from you all, just as we have this whole project. We are co-creating this with you all, and we will continue to do so. All right, so I think that's all I wanted to say. I think that was enough. So now we're at the questions, comments, questions.
I actually forgot to share about our EclipseCon shirts that we are working on as well. So if you don't mind, I will share the graphics really quickly. We're going to have some of them available in person, of course, in Sonoma, but the other design we'll have available basically on custom ink, and we will absolutely share the links with you guys, and you guys would be welcome to purchase on your own. Online whenever you want to. This is our. Can everyone see this? This was our kind of brainstorming of t-shirt design ideas, but our final decision, so I should tell you, is the dark blue one, EclipseCon in the front, with the Edeon horizontal logo in the back in white on a navy blue background. And then our secondary design is, oh, I'm so sorry. The blue design will be online only. The black design is the one that we're purchasing and we'll have in person in Sonoma. And it is the black and white EclipseCon in the front with the vertical Edeon logo in the back, again, white on a black background. So that both will be available on our custom ink store to purchase as you want, but in person we will have only the black ones, black and white ones printed. So I just want to share that because we're excited about it. Alrighty. Is anyone penciling in the August 2027 eclipse across Northern Africa? Oh, I want to. I don't know if I can.
So, my uh, let's see, uh, I control more or less my own time now, right? And so I don't need to necessarily take vacation to do things like this. But uh, um, the I've been looking at it, but it's not even Jello. My plans are still fluid, and that. Uh, but yeah, that's um uh, on my radar screen because the travel is going to be a haul. It's not going to be easy. Oh,
Yeah.
and Tom and Kathy are hitting either Greenland or Iceland or northern Spain in 26 and 28. Is that Australia? Okay. Yeah, I was not going to do it was either going to be Egypt or Australia or but not both.
I've been looking at Egypt, and there's some very expensive. I
Yes,
mean, I mean,
that was the issue.
very,
That was one of the
very.
issues, right?
I mean, I got one quote for 19,000, and that's just 6 days, 5 days.
19,000?
19,000,
That seems like
and they keep saying that they got the uh, only entries to all of the pyramids and stuff. I don't care about the pyramids.
right.
Man who knows his priorities. Um,
And it's going to be 105 degrees in the shade in
yep,
August in
yep. That
Luxor.
is an issue. Um, uh, the just near Gibraltar in Spain was you're not going to get 6.5 minutes of totality, but you'll get like 5 or something like that. And um, uh, prevailing weather patterns, you can't,
Y-
you know, uh,
Yep. And 26 in Spain, it's going to be hot there too.
if I remember correctly, you can be in Palma de Mallorca, and you'll get the last bit of the eclipse before the sun goes down.
Ev
And th
Everybody and their brother's going there though.
that's right.
I got a place picked out. It's a third of the way to Barcelona from Madrid,
Okay.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It's a
Yeah.
truck stop with a hotel.
Yeah.
Only 12 rooms in this place.
Well,
Those are the best sometimes, I swear.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
we'll have to maybe on Tuesday we can put a big map out for the future eclipses and people can put where they're going to be for part of our planning.
I just wanted to make sure we covered any comments or questions about EclipseCon since we have you all together. Any questions or comments?
No, I'll participate in whatever online meetings you set up. I've got the um, mandatory household stuff, and so I cannot travel that.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
yeah, we have a very discounted code, virtual 50, and when you sign up online just to get access to our Zooms. And of course,
yeah,
hop in whenever you can. We'd love
yep,
to see you.
yep,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Kaz and Heather had a great question about the Exploratorium tour. If you are not coming to Roanoke Park first, you can meet us there. It's going to be by RSVP list, so not to worry. Um, yeah, we know the driving back and forth is a little insane. But yes, if you planning your flight or whatever, SFO, is about an hour's drive away. Oakland Airport is actually a decent option. It's further south, but it's smaller and oftentimes has great deals on flights. And there's actually a airport in Santa Rosa itself,
Right.
which not a lot of people know about. So if you can manage to get a flight there, it's amazingly close. And the DoubleTree offers a discounted shuttle service for all three of those airports, by the way. So if you're interested. Okay. Anything else about EclipseCon? Last call? Laura, if you're okay, I just wanted to mention the last two dates of their next two volunteer meetings. Okay.
Yes.
So, volunteers, I don't know if you know this, but we only have two more official volunteer meetings on our docket. So we will definitely send out email reminders, but if you want to jot down the dates now, it will be March 30th, 2026, which will be a week after EclipseCon. It's actually my birthday. I won't be here because I'll be in New
Woo!
York with my
Woohoo!
kids. It'll be our spring break little mini trip. So sorry, I won't be physically there. So that'll be our second to last volunteer meeting. And our final one is slated for April 20th. 2026, maybe not last one, but just in case, write it down. And we will be sending more info about that, but I want to make sure you guys know about that. Yeah, we can't run indefinitely, right? And so there always has to be a time where good things have to end. I'm excited about the March 30th one to
Yeah.
talk about EclipseCon, but then I won't be there. Oh well.
As you're doing
Recorded.
both the data analysis and the science results, um, the one of my professional interests is measurement uncertainty. And so I'd be happy to be a peer reviewer for the uncertainty analysis portion of the analysis.
Great. Yeah, I think that would be very useful
Yeah.
because for sure the reviewers are going to ask, like, is this just an artifact, of a camera, or is it like
Some
all of those?
we hope that they would ask that question. I have found the uncertainty analysis is very niche. Not a lot of people get excited about doing that, and um, uh, they're happy if you just run the standard deviation and put up an error bar, right? And I would say that that is the minimum expectation.
Yeah, at least that
Uh,
should be done.
yeah. Um, uh, I can. I remember when we were doing postdoc interviews, and I would ask, you've got error bars on the data, and many of them didn't, and that was painful.
Yeah. Yep. It's good to know how certain you are about your data.
Yeah.
That's true. Otherwise, you're making statements that may or may not be true.
Hmm.
You don't know quite
The um,
how to validate it.
the Hubble
Yeah, I was,
blunder, right, was actually caused by a they had data from the more traditional method that was the data that they were measuring with a new um, um, interferometer was outside of the error bars of the older method. But they were
right.
rushed for time, and so they didn't investigate that. And so when you look at the root cause, it turns out that the interferometer was focusing on the paint chip on the spacing rod and not on the target itself. And that's why the focal length was off.
I see. Did they just figure that out recently?
No, that was in the report that they put out, and they harassed NASA and Perkin-Elmer Optical, who was the prime contractor. Um, uh,
Uh,
but they had the old data using the traditional method, and they had developed this interferometric method to with much better capability, but the mechanical system, there was a chip in the paint, and so it was using the the chipped spot
I see.
as the source of the light, and so that was off by several millimeters, which was just enough to make the initial Hubble out of focus.
It's painful. Oh, there's some very punny people.
Ooh,
Not painful, painful.
yeah,
We had one of those Perkin-Elmer guys that was responsible for that stuff at one of our club's astronomy conferences
uh-huh.
way back, and,
Yeah.
he could play piano real good. I'm not sure what the other stuff he could do was, but he sure could bang the keys.
He got on a piano and
He
played.
he did his talk, and then he got on a piano and played. And his question was, "Can you name these songs that are related to astronomy?"
Oh,
Wow, that's cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do that. If anyone can play instruments, we'll have
It
a
is a classic icebreaker, right? Is you just start playing a playlist that are all astronomically
Mm.
All
related.
right. I think we'll have to, if you wanted to, if people want to do that, you're gonna have to video yourself and submit your video. Then we'll post them.
We could do star karaoke, only astronomical songs
I
allowed.
know that could go very wrong. Uh, awesome. All right, everyone. Anything else any of you want to bring up? Well, thanks for coming today, and I'm excited that some of you will be able to make it in person and others will come online. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. So,
Right.
got to celebrate.
All right.
Look
Yeah.
back to look forward.
And we're here. Let us know if you have any questions at all or whatever, or have problems registering. We're excited. Okay,
Okay.
everyone, gonna stop recording.
Thank you.